Hey guys, welcome back to my art channel. So for today's video, I painted the Molo Church scenery using Gouache Paint. This artwork was actually for a history of architecture plate, and we were tasked to draw a Spanish colonial architecture structure in the Philippines. This artwork actually took me 2 days, but roughly 10 hours of work. And if you're curious on how my art process works, then keep on watching. So first I got my watercolor paper, and this was actually a 12 by 18 watercolor paper size, but then I cut it in half because I will be doing two perspectives. So this one is the exterior perspective. So for this artwork, I actually used the grid method, wherein you put gridded lines and equal distances, and same with the image, of course, so I can copy the proportions better. So this method will work if you're having a hard time with knowing the proportions and you really want to get the proportions correct. So I recommend you do the grid method, which you can learn from other YouTube videos. So for now, I will be using the Gouache Paint set to render my artwork. So this is the one I bought. I bought it in the color green, and I actually made a review on how I unboxed this and how I used it for the first time, and I'll link it in the description box below if you are interested. So this is my setup. I have my tape, water, paint brushes, and my gouache painting set. So first I will be cutting my tape in half, specifically in the center so I can save more tape, and this will serve as the border of my painting. So right now I am using a blue tone for the sky, and when using paint that is similar to acrylics, I like to do the background first, because if you do the other focuses like the tree, you might have to repaint the tree, because painting the sky second will cover the details you made in the tree. So you might want to do the sky first. I also put some blue spots on the left side because I wanted to make the tree look realistic, so that I can have leaves floating and not make the tree look like it's a huge cotton candy block, so you don't want that. But first I'm going to make the yard and the greeneries of the area, and I do this by doing the dark to light method. So in watercolor you usually do the light to dark, but in paints like acrylics I like doing it dark to light, so that I can layer my paintings according to my most shadowy part until the highlighted parts. So for painting trees and other landscape, I like doing the stippling method to make this subject look like it has leaves floating on them. So I do this by not really destroying my brush, but I like separating the bristles of my brush by making my paintbrush look like this with the right amount of green paint, and I just stipple on it to have that tiny leaves effect on my trees and my bushes. So yeah. So right now I'm adding a little sunset effect on my background, and this was actually a little hard for me because I didn't want the blue part to get ruined, because if you add water to the gouache, it's gonna be watery again, and it was not really blending the way I thought it would. So right now I'm doing the red bushes, also by doing dark first and then light and then dark again. And right now I am doing the highlights of the trees. So I first started with the color black, and then a dark green, and then a normal green, and then for the highlights I used the ochre or yellow color. And right now I'm making the statue outside Molo Church, and as you can see I opted to use a yellowish shade so that I can have brown on the shadows and have the feeling that the statue is reflecting the sunlight. So that's why it has a yellowish tone. Right now I'm doing a dark gray for the pavements of the landscaping, and as you can see I really had a hard time in drawing the perspective of this pavement or landscaping because it is very far and it's very irregular. Not really irregular, but it was hard. So yeah, right now I am filling the other details like the background and the benches and the other entourage like the small bushes, the plants, and the lampposts. So right now I am doing the structure itself, the Molo Church itself, and I first started with outlining the details with the black paint, and it wasn't really the best option. I didn't really like the output and the final product of the Molo Church because of the black outline, but I figured that if I didn't put black outlines, the pencil marks will be invisible and I wouldn't be able to see what I drew. So yeah, now I am trying my best to fill in the spots and do the detailing of the structure. And the structure itself was quite simple. It has a simple facade and two temples with some brick finishes, and as you can see in the close-up, I am using a lighter shade of gray for the bricks, and you can do a similar brick finish effect by just simply drawing a lighter shade for the original color. So right now I am making improvised tiles, which is obviously ugly, so that's why I erased it, and some finishing touches. And there you have it. This is the final output I made. So I worked on this for a total of 2 days on and off, but maybe I could have finished it in under 12 hours or 10 hours. Yeah, so now I will be doing the most satisfying part of the video, which is peeling off the tape border. So yeah, enjoy watching this segment of the video. And there you have it. This is the final output I made, but I decided I would add bird entourage, just the bird silhouettes for an added aesthetic. Yeah, you can find a lot of bird silhouette references on Google, so just search it up if you want. And that's it for the video. I really hope you watched till the end, and if you did, I just want to say a big thank you. So these are the materials I used. I used the Himi Miya gouache, my painting palette, some water, and my blue painter's tape, which I bought on Shopee. I'll link in the description box below where I got it. And yeah, this is my dirty water, my tissue, my paint brushes, and my reference. I just got this from Google and Pinterest and copied it. So yeah. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and see you on the next one.